Hello, boys. Let's get down to business, my friend.
Le bâtiment d'antirouille multichaîne à l'angle du boulevard Guillaume-Couture et de la rue Lamartine a été complètement ravagé par les flammes. Laurence, le propriétaire avait été arrêté récemment par la police.
So there's a garage that's been burnt. I think maybe it's a place they do a body shop for body work for cars. I'm not too certain about that. But it's a commercial garage, he says, and he says that the garage owner has once been arrested by the cops.
Le propriétaire, c'est Philippe Rochette. Et selon nos sources, ce serait le même Philippe Rochette qui a été arrêté lors d'une frappe contre la Blood Family Mafia en mai.
And it would be Philippe Rochette, and it's the same Philippe Rochette that's been arrested with the Blood Family Mafia.
Dernier. Et il a été arrêté pour trafic d'armes et trafic de véhicules à moteur criminel.
Traffic of fire tools and traffic of vehicles, something like this.
Trafic de véhicules à moteur criminellement obtenus.
Okay. Trafficking vehicles obtained criminally.
Maintenant, concernant le responsable de l'incendie, il a été arrêté cette nuit, peu de temps.
Oh, the person who's responsible for setting the fire has been arrested.
Après l'intervention des pompiers, et il doit comparaître là, éventuellement.
So you'll have to
le
appear in
bâtiment,
court.
lui, est perte totale.
Et wow, en effet.
Oui.
Total loss. Look at
C'est un
that.
passant qui a appelé le 911 vers 3h30 là, lorsqu'il a aperçu des
So it
flammes qui
happened at 3:30 in
s'échappaient
the
carrément
morning?
du bâtiment.
Someone gave
Heureusement,
the
le feu
call
n'a pas
in.
fait de victime. Il n'y a aucun autre bâtiment qui a été touché par les flammes. Et ce matin, là, quand je me suis rendue sur place pour filmer ces images, il y avait
She says that this morning when she arrived to go film the location,
des résidents curieux qui s'étaient déplacés là, pour observer la scène. Et j'ai essayé de leur parler, mais il y en
so
a
she noticed people watching the scene of the fire, I guess, and she went to speak to them.
plusieurs qui ont refusé de me parler,
But they refused
de commenter l'affaire là, par crainte de représailles.
because they're afraid of revenge attacks.
Et d'ailleurs, il y a une enquête là, qui est en cours à ce sujet.
L'incendie a été complètement éclaté sur place. Avec les éléments qu'on avait sur les lieux, constatés, les policiers et les pompiers, la thèse de l'incendie criminel est...
So by the evidence on the scene, they already came up with the hypothesis of a criminal fire. There ain't no accident in this one.
priorisée. Quelques minutes plus tard, il y a un individu qui a été arrêté.
A couple of minutes later, an individual
dans
was
le
arrested
secteur.
in the area.
Pour l'instant, il est arrêté. Il a été transporté au service de police et sera interrogé dans
So
les
he will
prochaines
be
heures par les
interrogated in the
enquêteurs.
field.
Est-ce qu'on sait si c'est en lien avec le crime organisé?
Do we know if it's
Pour
linked?
l'instant, je ne peux pas rien confirmer à
For
ça.
the moment, I cannot confirm.
Bon, la police qui ne peut pas confirmer, mais nos sources, nous, le
Cops, they cannot confirm, but you know us, our sources.
On sait que...
confirment.
We can do
Des
that.
incendies criminels liés au crime organisé, il y en a de plus en plus dans la région.
Yeah.
C'est un autre qui
So it's no longer a Montreal thing, criminal fires. It's all over the place. I think it's this here. See if we get any extras from this.
À Lévis, beaucoup de pompiers mobilisés.
Confirmé que c'était un incendie criminel. Il y a eu une arrestation, l'incendie majeur. Vous en avez maîtrisé, là, mais au moins...
I'm trying to
on
make
voit
sure
plus
we
les
skip the
toutes prises
redundant
mortes. Vous les
stuff.
voyez là, tellement que c'était un incendie important. D'ailleurs, on va pouvoir entendre le directeur.
Donc, on a rappelé au feu 80 pompiers. On a
We never get extras from these people.
rappelé nos citoyens.
It's just
Arrêté à
the
Lévis, là,
obvious.
ça datait de 2020. On vous montre encore les dégâts parce qu'ils sont vraiment importants. Ils ont réussi à sauver vraiment juste une partie de ce
They just
gros
managed to save
bâtiment
only a part
commercial.
of it.
Donc, on le disait, là, ça pourrait être lié au Blood Family Mafia.
could be
La
linked
police
to
ne
the
veut pas
Blood
encore le
Family Mafia.
confirmer, mais il y a eu une perquisition au mois de mai ici. Et d'ailleurs, le propriétaire...
Oh, there was a search warrant in the month of May at this location. The cops raided this location. Note that fact.
Là, qui est toujours enregistré à son nom, là, donc Philippe Rochette, l'entreprise, donc multichaîne anti-route qui est toujours enregistré à
Yep, that's what it was. It's a body shop for cars for anti. They put, I'm not sure how it works. Anti-rust to your vehicle.
son nom. Il avait comparu au Palais de justice de Québec là, pour notamment des accusations de trafic d'armes, de trafic de véhicules à moteur.
Yep. So it's the same redundant stuff. It's linked to the Blood Family Mafia, the owner. Now you got to ask yourself, why has it been set on fire, and who? From who? Is it homies that are setting this on fire? There was a raid, she said, in the month of May. That's not long ago. That's like a month and a half, right? Or by now, is it 2 months? Is it his homies? Is there evidence? Or is it rather the enemies now? Now that Ice Pick is in prison and the cops are mainly raiding the enemies of the Hells Angels. Is that the Hells Angels pipeline going for the attack? Which could it be? I got no idea. Just trying to see if it's any little details I can find from this. Okay, it's just footage. Let's see it in action. That's what it looks like. Man, we have tons of fire. Huh? There was another fire, but it has nothing to do with any of this. In the southwest of Montreal, they said about 100 firefighters rushed the scene. No, it's not linked about anything, I don't think. But yeah, it's pretty heavy stuff now, huh? Fires all around. But look, they're saying that. Yeah, that's it. He at the time when he was arrested last time, it was said that he was linked to an organization well structured, responding to the orders of influential members of the Blood Family Mafia. There you go, a cell answering to the gods. 3 men and 2 women were arrested for trafficking arms and stupefires and that thing. There you go. I don't know, man. But yeah, we could have said it was an accident or something, but the cops are saying that no, it was set on fire on purpose. Speaking about fires, we don't need to stay in the red zone. We can come back to Montreal, and when we do so, we see the same neighborhood, vehicles burning. Which this is the capital neighborhood for vehicles burning. Antique Quartierville. That's the area you're going to hear about fires over and over and over, man. And I'd like to translate that one in English, but I don't think it can be done. How could I say this? Carterville? I'm not going to do that by that point. But a vehicle set on fire on Rue La Rose. On the Rose Street, a vehicle was targeted by criminal fire. 2 a.m. like the usual, but they got no names. Same stuff. Okay. Next one, a 19-year-old man was assassinated, and he passed away, of course. Let's see if they give us any extra details than the obvious.
Site de l'année sur le territoire de la métropole. Un jeune homme a été abattu hier soir dans l'arrondissement de Montréal-Nord.
So this is 27th of June that they're talking about this news.
Annick, la victime,
So I think it happened on the Thursday, the night before.
La victime se trouvait dans une voiture lorsque le suspect a fait feu sur lui.
So he was inside of his vehicle when the suspect fired at him.
Oui, selon les premières informations du SPVM, le jeune homme de 19 ans là, aurait possiblement été dans une voiture tout juste ici, là, sur l'avenue Matt, à l'intersection du boulevard Maurice-Duplessis, lorsqu'il a été atteint par balle.
So he's on Maurice-Duplessis, which is funny. That same evening, I was in the area. I was visiting a friend, but I didn't notice this. I didn't see the cordons or anything. I must be blind. But I was there. She said, I think they said 9 p.m. or something. I passed by like at 10. I don't remember any of this. But I guess the street is pretty long, right? Maybe that's why. So the person who did this, who killed him, left. Now, for those who don't know, this is Montreal North, all right? It's gangsta land, you know? Gangsta land, ain't no sunshine over there, you know? It's, how can I say it? There ain't no smiles, bro. It's depressing as hell, man. Oh, man, I don't like the vibes, man. Just no smiling, man.
Survenu hier soir vers 21h15 et lorsque les policiers sont arrivés sur place, ils auraient retrouvé le jeune homme de 19 ans au sol.
So they found him on the ground.
En arrêt cardio-respiratoire, il a été transporté au centre hospitalier où il a finalement succombé à ses blessures. Là.
Damn, man. Now, I'm not sure how this works. Is that his vehicle right there? Now, I was going to make a joke. Not a joke, kind of a joke. I was going to say the first sign to know what is this, you know, maybe if he's driving a Mercedes-Benz or something like that, it will be a nice sign, but it doesn't look like it. But there is an F. What does the F stand for in the license plate? Does that mean rented vehicle? I don't remember.
Cette nuit, donc il s'agit effectivement, Marc-Antoine.
But you betcha, I'm not saying he has anything to do with that, but someone wanted him dead. But the traffickers, they like their rented vehicles, man.
Du 18e meurtre sur le territoire de Montréal. Alors, il y a une enquête qui est en cours et le SPVM, justement, qui a transféré cette enquête.
So the obvious, we're going to skip that. See
Je suis juste plus trop sûr du contexte actuellement. Là. C'est pour ça que l'enquête a été transférée là, au niveau de la section des
right, the
crimes,
mad
de la
obvious.
scène de crime. Là, elle a été analysée par nos enquêteurs.
No
Se
duh.
retirent à nouveau de leur
We've been analyzing the
l'analyse
scene, you know, that
complète
stuff.
des éléments qu'ils ont amassés aujourd'hui.
Les témoins ont
We've
également
been analyzing the scene and we can't tell you nothing.
Des éléments qu'ils ont amassés.
Les témoins ont également été rencontrés là, hier au courant de la soirée afin de comprendre ce qui s'est passé, mais pour le moment, il n'y a pas encore eu d'arrestation.
So they spoke to witnesses, but they didn't get nothing from it, basically. All right, I guess that's where it, this is important. This could end up being really important. Well, really, maybe not. Really important in the future, as in we're going to get something else that's going to come up and it's going to mention this event, I don't know. It's up in the air if you and me will remember this. Now, if something comes up in the next few weeks, I think we'll remember. But once it's past that, I think we'll be gone. But it's happened before. We read about something and then the mystery deepens and we start finding out another gang story and, it all comes down together. I do remember the one from NDG. The guy, there was the prison death and then we had a killing in NDG and then they were both linked. The guy's uncle. And then it became deeper than that. I think it had to do with... the BFM actually got sent to Montreal to go complete that order, That's what I mean, man. Sometimes you read something like this and you're like, oh, okay, we got nothing out of it. And then later on, it just, as long as you can remember, wow, it'll blow your mind how the plot thickens. You know what I'm saying? And Chris Hensley knows what I'm saying. NLQC knows what I'm saying. And Mr. Green Thumb as well. And the youth for Mr. Forever Young. The guy does not get old. Is Max the Youth and the 50 straight leg, 57 straight leg, man. What's up, buddy? What's up, my man? Let's get down to business. Exactly, man. Let's get down to it. And what do we have here? Armed violence in Quebec. Yeah, I don't like to have that on my screen because it gets my videos flagged. But it's like my filter just doesn't work, man. Did I disable that filter? Please tell me. Yeah, it's disabled. Damn it. No wonder. Yeah. All right. Doesn't matter. It's too late for that now, man. So 3 people. This one's even older. I guess 26th of June. So in the evening, the guy who got killed right now. 3 people were arrested after search warrants in link with the Stupefier Wars. So we're talking about the red zone automatically. Allowed the cops who did the seizure to get their hands on fire tools and Stupefires. Okay. And the people arrested, aged 32 to 37. We're into some serious stuff when I see those ages. I don't like to see 19 or 18. Well, I like to see 32, 37. We got the 5:30 in the morning as well. What else do we have? What did they catch? So we're not going to get names. We're not going to get a background story. We're not going to get any links. But we are getting the seizures. We got 3 revolvers, a 12, sawed off, carbine. I don't know if you say that in English that way. And they seized 125 grams of, you know what? Damn my filter, man. And 75 grams, Jesus, everything's gone for this video. 210 of M&Ms, vapes, 12,000 units of ciggies, which they're providing a community service for because the price is outrageous. It all goes to tax. And then that tax gets shipped overseas or for anything but you. What a scam. Next. And Gamelin 79. Gamelin, huh? Gamelin joins us this evening. Gamelin, I have a story for you here. Le Hells Angels lose $12,000 non-declared in the airport. So none other than, I think it was named Gaetan, something Gaetan, I always forget. Gaetan David, there you go. Gaetan David, who is not some nobody. He's not new. He's rather aged. He's rather experimented. This is a picture in 1998. As you see right there, with his cig in his mouth, maybe perhaps contraband, and police frisking him, giving him a hard time, and he's not liking it. Well, in the past. Hells Angels from Quebec was just about to leave Montreal in June of 2024 to fly to Brussels in Belgium, where he was seen at a big reunion of bikers, and he got seized at $12,000 in cash at that moment, right? Because he was about to get on board of the plane to go to a biker reunion in Belgium. The cops stopped him there, sort of like Del Balzo when after the hit on what's his name, on Vito, not Vito, man. Now I don't have his name. I talked about him all the time on the channel. Man. Don Corleone, that's the best I can remember. You know what I'm talking about, man. Rizzuto, the son, the grandson. Let's just put it like that. Why his name's not coming? Leonardo Rizzuto. There you go. I sinned. But Mr. Leonardo Rizzuto, when Del Balzo put a hit on him, and he fled, he was about to flee after that. I guess he was going to a Caribbean or a Spanish country, or at best Italy, one or the other, but the cops were waiting for him. They knew it was him. They doubted it, and they had notice to not let him board any planes. So he tried, it didn't work. Now our friend here, for some reason, there was an alert for him. For some reason, he was about to board the plane, and the cops absolutely did not want that to happen. So they took $12,000 cash from him that he had on him, which he had not declared. As anyone who's taken a plane once, you before you take the plane, you're not allowed to go with $100K in a suitcase. It doesn't work like that. They control all aspects of everything you do in our countries, but when you take the plane, reasonably so, they all do this. So you have to put a number there, how much you're going to go with. And I can't remember if it's maximum 5,000 or something like this. And the more you take, you're going to have to answer why you're taking it. It's ridiculous. So the man in 2024 was going to go with 12K, and he's an outlaw biker. He doesn't follow the laws. You know what I'm saying? So he said, screw it. I'm going to keep that in my pockets. I'm not saying ish. Why should I? Well, according to our information, not mine, this newspaper, Gaetan David, 56, now member of a section of Hells Angels inside of Thailand. That's the mystery here. So first, about the last 2 decades was all about why they were flying into the Dominican Republic. And the answer is they have formed a chapter over there. It's their, how do you say, like the pirates, they had the island, they would go raiding, and then they'd have this island in the Caribbeans. And it was like their, maybe it's just a myth or a fiction or something, but they have their pirate island, and they would all congregate there between their hunts for loot. So just a little bit like that, these pirates, these outlaw bikers, they have these islands they like to refuge to. After they commit crimes, they can hide there. They can, you use that as a transit point. It's crazy, man. So it's been going on forever. But the chosen location was Dominican Republic for Quebec Hells Angels. Now I find it interesting that they want to do more than this now. Now they have their eyes on Thailand, It always starts like that. You hear one single member. I don't think he's going there in Thailand because he learned to speak Thailand, and he's he's enriching his culture. I don't think that. Personally, I don't buy it, But good for him. He's going to spread the gospel of the Hells Angels to Thailand, So he's a member of the Thailand section. He's about to board that airport on the 17th of June, 2024, when he was taken. Is that a picture when that happened? No, it isn't, because that doesn't look like no airport, man. But you see his patch there. It definitely says Thailand. He does look a little bit... Is that him? He does look like Butterbean from the back. He doesn't look the same, I guess. Age, you age, you get fatter and everything. You got the fat neck. But, you got the Butterbean and from the back. That's him on the left. Who else could wear the Thailand one? It has to be him, Forger. So, it's just they were organizing an event, and the cops snatched this picture. Now, as he was boarding the plane, there was 12,340 cash Canadian and euros that were not declared. The law on recycling products of criminality, I'm thinking it means money laundering. I guess that's what it means. And financing illegal activities, this is a law. It says that any movement across the border of a value superior to 10,000 must be declared, you know? It's crazy, man. That's the stuff we need to do. That same day, David was arrested and liberated but he has to appear in court or something. He was after that accused of having omitted to declare money to the agent, border agents, whatever, a sum of a value superior to the law, which says $10,000. Last week, this year now, in fresh news, last week, he pled guilty and was condemned to a fine of $2,000. The judge gave to him. Okay, we're going to skip. So it says, here's a quote. Essentially, Mr. David presented himself to a trip in Hungary and did not make the necessary legal declaration. He had on him $11,410, but with the conversion to euros, that value, I don't get it. Is this American dollars? I don't get it. Or is this Hungarian dollars? I'm a little bit confused. But whatever that unit is, that 11,410, he was converted to $12,340. Is that euros? Honestly, I'm not that. I have no clue. You could tell I never went to Europe. But the 12,340 is the equivalent. So whatever that currency that he had, my ignorant self can tell you that's as much as I understand. Mr. did not attempt to hide the money. It was in his baggage, or it says handbag. I guess it says handbag. The sum was seized in full, so it was a loss for my client. Okay. The lawyer says that the biker was going to the world run of the Hells Angels in Belgium. Now, the title here says absolutely no retirement, or there's no question of retirement. David, an ex-member of the Sherbrooke section, was condemned to 16 years and 3 months for a murder plot for the big operation called Shark UC. The guys who don't know, Shark UC is probably the biggest anti-biker operation of all time, or the most important one. It happened, I don't remember anymore, early 2000s, or it says here, I guess in 2009. But that was the biggest one, and I think it was an epic failure. They put him in and they had to take him out, or some crazy stuff like that. Canada laws, whatever you want to imagine. I didn't start from this channel. It started a long, long time ago. David, yeah, you go. Now, in front of the parole board in January 2020, David had pronounced clearly his intention of not leaving the Hells Angels once his sentence was finished. I always said that I wanted to return to my old life. Yes, I'm part of the Hells Angels, but I'm not obligated to fall back into crime. He declared to the audience. Okay, we'll finish that story here. Oh, sorry guys if I missed your messages. Sometimes I get lost in my self-dialogue, talking to myself. Where are you guys? Mountain Woman says, been listening, finally got a chance. Hell yeah, Mountain Woman, thank you so much for your help all the time. I really appreciate you. I really mean it. For people like you, the youth, and all of you guys around, it would have ended a long time ago. I still think about it every day. But I need to come here and make some jokes that I'll laugh alone at. But it's all good. We got, it says, imagine he arrived at the meeting. Imagine he arrived at the meeting freaking broke. Yeah, I guess. You got to pay for all those hookers, man. You got to pay for that party. You can't just be there. You need to pass the beer. having a great time. The strippers, all of that, man. Strippers are expensive. Where are we at? We're at, okay, so Mr. Spagnolo, the situation so far for us, as we know it, he went to prison because he went clubbing, or maybe the word clubbing is not the correct word. He went to a bar in the old Montreal, okay? And so we don't know what happened. Nobody knows. Someone pissed him off. Rightfully so, he was angry. Don't know the reason. But Mr. Spagnolo, when he goes clubbing with knives. So you don't want to do that with Mr. Spagnolo. And even if you leave the bar, it's not over. So Mr. Spagnolo followed him out. And there's a camera footage of him leaving the place. That essentially means that you can't escape Mr. Spagnolo. So something happened outside of that bar, and the guy got poked at a few times. And Mr. Spagnolo got arrested, and I think that's it. He went to prison and all that. That's as far as we know about Mr. Spagnolo. All right. So Spagnolo right there staring right back at you. Don't F with that guy. Might have a knife under that jacket. Now, Mr. Spagnolo Menace is going to be released because of Canada laws. He's going to be back out. I wonder if he's going to go to a bar first. The severe conditions are imposed to Mr. Nicola Spagnolo. Let's see. And he, Solicito, and Leonardo Rizzuto share a bond. I don't even need to have it confirmed that by witnesses or anything like that. I can just tell, because when your father was close to Vito Rizzuto, which is the other guy's father, and he was also with the Rocco Solicito, and all three of them passed away, and two of them in the Mafia wars. And the third, he didn't get killed, but Vito Rizzuto didn't get killed. But it all started because of him. He went to prison, and the enemies attacked. And he came back, and the end of his life, I think he got I don't remember what the disease he got. Honestly, I can't remember. If it was cancer, it was something else. I cannot remember. But same thing. He passes away, and he was under attack at the time. So these guys were all allies, etc. So imagine the sons having this bond together to take control of the mafia together and to make bucks and enjoy the spoils of life left by the ingenuity of the fathers, like father, like son, and three sons to understand each other's pain. Nobody else can understand this. Who can say, I understand you? My father also got murdered by the same people. Who can say that? So these guys share a bond. So this is an amateur dissection of Mr. Who you're speaking to right now, Mr. Spagnolo, right here. So he was released, and he's gonna have because he did 2/3 of his sentence. Okay, let's see. 13th of June, Spagnolo quietly left the pen. He only had about a month. What was it? I don't get it. He left on the 13th of June, but he still has less than a month to obtain his liberation. I really don't get how all this stuff works. You guys. But he had received 3 years for having shanked a young man leaving the bar in the summer of 2020. So he missed summer 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. So he missed 4 summers, right? I'm assuming he got arrested on 2021, 2023. Yeah, so that means that he's going to have, he's going to get to enjoy this summer. Let's see if he goes to a bar. But the agents, let's see what's going on. Okay, so let's say he left. They're saying that the investigators went to go talk to him and informed him that he is anew arrested for the murder. What the hell? Am I reading this completely wrong? On the 13th of June, he was quietly released from the pen. Okay, so far, for the shanking. But the officers announced their visit on that day, and they tell him that he will be arrested again, this time for another murder, first degree, of Lorenzo Lopresti, which happened way before any of this, 2011. So I guess it was within the first wave Mafia wars, for having plotted the assassination of numerous individuals in the Mafia wars that happened at that era. And that's one of the numerous revelations that came out because of Frederick Silva. Okay. Now, I'm a bit confused with their timelines, but it says in approximately 2 weeks, Mr. Spagnolo, 50 years old, will leave the federal pen, and he will likely be incarcerated again, this time provincially, while waiting his process for a murder. Damn! Okay, now I get it. Wow. He was just about to leave the other one, and now he's about to get with this one. I bet he regrets that bar incident, because he could have enjoyed the last 4 years, would have been priceless. Where are we at now? Okay, so what he's been... There was a report on him from the prison, because, they record his activities, they make a summary of his, if he's behaving well and all that. They're saying that Mr. Spagnolo participated to certain programs behind bars, and that he had realized progress, but that his motivation had diminished. He's not a child. What do you guys want from a 50-year-old man? It's like they're watching, what is he going to change? Because they're acting like he's going to be a well-behaved boy. What do you want from him at this point? His behavior qualifies equally as in detention as problematic. So he was problematic. Let's see. In 2025, you were considered as a subject of interest for the preventative security. I don't get it. And are suspected of having implications in criminal activity. So he was implicated, they think, in criminal activity behind bars. You were found in possession of a prohibited iPhone. In November of 2024, you were found guilty of assault against another detainee. And other incidents include your refusal to provide a urine for urine analysis. And the results were positive for THC. The results of a test in January 2024. So my dude was blazing inside behind bars. Honestly, they should let them blaze. Not many people, when they blaze, are angry and disrupt people and act lawless. Alcohol, it does that. Alcohol makes people become brave and makes them lose, go crazy and do whatever they always wanted to do, but they couldn't. THC is chill. If you gave these inmates THC, they might actually chill out. They might actually be about peace and love. Maybe you guys should just give him some THC. What's wrong with that? It probably helped for him to be calm in there and to be pleasant to be around. In 2024, numerous people were identified for the presence of cocaine. I shouldn't have said that word. Man, that's going to hurt on my channel. Your cell was then searched so numerous times they say they searched the cell. They found stupefiers and other prohibited objects. Like, you found out one, it's the cell phone. However, your co-detainee sharing the cell with you was also found responsible equally. Okay, so this is the kind of stuff that they're inside, They like stupefiers. They like them themselves. I doubt he had all that stupefier in prison and he was slanging, I doubt it. So it looks like these guys actually enjoy having a little bit of candy. Now, disdain for authorities. Even if Mr. Spagnolo denies being linked to the Montreal Mafia, the commission affirms that he is implicated, okay, with a group that are high threat, something like that. The commission also reminds that Spagnolo is under orders, I don't know, that are banning him from possessing an arm, and if he breaks this condition, and he did break this condition numerous times, especially, for example, at the event in Old Montreal. So he's not allowed, like normal people don't carry knives like that. Your usage of arms testifies equally of your indifference to damage that you could cause to others. Yeah, okay, they're just milking this. Let's keep going. So because they're giving all the arguments to give him severe conditions, But as you and I know, he's likely to be arrested for the murder they just talked about of Lorenzo Lopresti. Now, what's that about? He doubt he did it himself. Maybe he got someone, is what they're alluding to. Now, because of the conditions, you're not allowed to consume alcohol. You're not allowed to consume stupefyers. You can't frequent any individuals that does criminal activities, and you can only possess one cell phone and one SIM card. It's crazy because that's all normal people stuff. You can only do normal people stuff, bro. Just normal people stuff. But except the part where you need to furnish your telephone statement and give access to your phone. So don't take any pee pictures. Don't take pictures of your girlfriend, or we're gonna be passed around with the cops. And don't have any fetishes, like BTK, where you hang yourself wearing underwear, to excite yourself. Don't leave any of that on your phone, okay? Where are we? You must be home from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Okay, that's nothing good happens at night. I can tell you guys that when you go late at night, you suddenly the demons start to come out. The norm usually you want, but for Mr. Spagnolo, it's gonna be an issue. You can't leave at 10. You gotta be home at 6. He must not frequent bars. All that stuff. Okay, I guess we got enough of this. Main story, well, we were talking about liberation with conditions, severe ones. What about for Mr. Giuseppe Arcoracci? Damn, that sucks. I usually mix up this picture with the other guy that we've had numerous stories this year. For some reason, I always confuse them. Gotta be careful with that, because I was gonna pounce on that guy. So this is not that guy that I forgot. Diadamo. This is not Diadamo. It says Giuseppe Arcoracci. I think one of the articles, they may even made a mistake. They called him, they gave that name to this guy. That's really whack, because I 100% remember that happened. Anyways, okay, Giuseppe Arcoracci. Something's off. So the other article, they made a huge mistake here, because we read it together. All right, let's continue. So, trafficking of cane. The accused who are tied to the Montreal Mafia will be released under severe conditions. Now, I think it still has to do with the cane ring in the southwest section of Montreal that were busted twice, once in 2024, and then less than a year later, or exactly a year later in 2025, just recently. We talked about it. So it was twice the same clan, it seems. Wait. They suspected the head of it would be the head of that cell. They suspect him of being implicated the second time, but they can't prove it. Type of scenario. I think it was that. If it's not, we'll find out. No, it says Southwest right here. Let's keep going. So, what's going on? Yeah, it's about exactly that story that they're talking about. In April, 4 people were arrested that were presumed to be working under a cell of the Montreal Mafia. Now, after 11 weeks of preventative detention, Giuseppe Arcoracci, 60, Pietro Monte, 56, Eric Antonio Lomano, 33, all three from the southwest of Montreal, and Eric Roux, 40, from Verdun, all southwest. They had to give a big bail amount. So, for example, Mr. Arcoracci had to pay a bail of $160,000. The 60-ish-year-old man will equally have to reside at his residence for 24 hours a day, over 7 days a week, except for certain exceptions, notably for legitimate work and for property maintenance. So if he has properties, he can go maintain them, type of thing. A delay of 1 year. A ban of publication is not allowing us, this newspaper, to reveal the evidence that was presented by the investigators on these guys. Interesting. So there's a ban. There's an important operation that's going on, investigation, I mean, and they do not want to give us any of these details. It's ongoing. Interesting. I think we're going to skip this. It'll be just too much legalese. I don't want to waste your time on that. Sour Americano. The investigation baptized Americano, which was led by the anti-gang squad, whatever, let's skip that. About 40 officers participated, as well as members of the infamous Eclipse squad, specialized in surveillance of bars and spying, basically. Spying on organized crime. Patrollers, notably, they were watching La Salle and Verdun. Okay. Now, as a chief of gangsterism, Arcoracci is being accused of trafficking cane, M&Ms, and plotting to traffic stupefires, possession of the green plant, and also a possession of jewelry and watches obtained by the fruits of crime, they say, as well as fire tools. A fifth accused, Nadia Freinetti, I remember she was the accountant. When I say an accountant, I don't mean I'm not sure if she was actually a CPA or anything. At the very least, remember, there's a video on the channel where we tried to analyze the piece of paper that the cops seized at her place. She hid that paper inside of a peanut butter jar, or a peanut, or rather a normal peanut jar. And the cops, I don't know how they found that, but they grabbed the piece of paper, they took a picture of it, and it looked like handwritten notes, coded, of course, like for cane payments and stuff like that. That's what the cops believe. We checked that thing with you and I. Remember? If you want to check it out, go ahead. It's on the channel somewhere. The thumbnail will have this guy like this. So where were we? Yeah, I guess that's the lady we're talking about. Okay. The other accused, they mentioned Pietro Monte. Same thing, accused of gangsterism, trafficking cane, possession of 2 fire tools. They had to pay a bail of $75,000. They'll have the same. They cannot. This is the stuff that I like to have here. That's the stuff that I'm looking for. Can anybody with a good memory remember this? He must not frequent the bar, San Remo, and the restaurant Da Emma. You know? I'm wondering if those names will appear again in the future. And you have Eric Antonio Lomano. He's also accused of the same stuff. His $55,000 is for bail. Then Eric Rioux, mentioned earlier. So he's selling a Viagra type analog and trafficking. We got green plant and all that stuff. Nothing special, but his bail is $30,000. So they're being released. That's really what this article comes down to, and they can't give us more details. There's an ongoing operation about all of this. I think that's it for today, man. I think we saw enough. He's gonna bounce back. Mirachi is the main man. I'm just reading comments. They have an access to our medication anyway. I'm not sure what you guys talk about. I'm a bit late. Sorry, guys. Oh, DC, what's up, Al? I just noticed DC's here. What's up, buddy? So I'll give you guys shout outs so I can don't make this video longer. Shout out to Chris Inslee, NLQC 41832, Mr. Green Thumb, 57 straight leg, Gamelin 79 or Gamelin 79, Mountain Woman, DC from Alberta, and did I say Max the Youth? Max the Youth, of course. Thanks Left. But I knew you under another name before Thanks Left. I know I knew you under something else. You've been here a long time. I always forget, but I know you. And Stefan Nunez as well. Stefan Nunez. And I think I got everybody. Well, the silent bunch, who don't need to say another word, the silent assassin. Maybe we talked about you. Maybe one of these articles, we spoke about a car you just burned, huh? And you're giggling with us, or giggling at us, yeah. Or maybe you're one of the shooters. You're here. You're quiet. I respect that. I don't like the other kind, who wants to send me an email telling me who they killed and why and how much I don't know what I'm talking about. He's right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm seeing here and what I'm reading out loud to people and translating the news, and I know what I can actually remember from all that. On that point, I think I'm pretty fair, But I don't need to know the secrets because, to be honest, if you told me and I would have to come on this channel, and number one, I don't want to get anybody in trouble. So that means I'm not going to say anything. But then I'm going to read something and I will know the truth. And I won't be able to tell these fine, crafty ones. So I'm going to be playing double speak. I'm going to be dishonest with them, and I'm going to play with them. I'm going to pretend I don't know something, which I do know, and then play them as fools, and look them straight in the microphone and completely BS them. I don't want to treat people like that. I want to be completely honest, free like that. I don't want to manipulate nobody. If I don't know, I truly don't know, and it's clear as day like that, I prefer doing it like this. Rather than what's good it's going to do if only I should know, only I can know, and then come here and have this channel and, but I certainly wouldn't tell any, if I knew a secret, which I don't, I would never be able to. I'm not like the other channels on YouTube. Maybe they live in another country, they live in a totally different country. They don't care about the consequences here. All they are is, and I understand it, life is miserable, life is tough. And they want their YouTube channel to grow at all costs because the channel's not growing. It doesn't grow. It stops growing at a certain point, and you only capture one or two people. But them, they see the algorithm like something, and they see people, and they need to replicate that. So those people, they don't care about the consequences. They receive random emails from people they never met, and then people feed them some information. They have no way of verifying any of this, but then they don't even care about the consequences if someone's going to get killed or not. They have no morals. They will say, this is what's really happening. Despite it's nowhere in the newspapers, nowhere is it in the news, it's not declared, maybe the cops don't even know about it, and now you're going to tell everybody and you're going to get some people in trouble. You don't know if someone's going to get killed. You don't care because you're in another country. You don't care about the consequences. You're safe. You're away from all this. But and I understand though, I completely do understand the struggle of life. And then you finally found something, and you have a big channel, and you can finally make a living out of something, I completely get it, I definitely do understand the pain. So it's hard to get on someone's case for that. I understand pain and struggling, man. But I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I turned my email off. I don't want any of it. If I remain poor, I'll stay poor, and that's that. But I don't want to see, I don't want to have any consequence, any rippling effect on anybody, man. At all. So that's it. Oh, anyways, man, I'll keep it. I'll keep it the way it is. So because I always get some innocent person that says, "Hey, man, so what's where's your email, man?" Like, and it's like if I said no to some people, then I say no to one person, I'm disrespect the 10 other people that I didn't give it to. I can't make exceptions. Unfortunately, I cannot make exceptions. I want to be fair to everybody, I don't want to hurt some other person's feelings. I said no to them, then I sneak one into you, that's why, man, I care about people. I'm not I'm a straightforward person, bro. I can't help myself. And it's to my detriment a lot of times, I could have milked all this. I could have milked this channel and done what a lot of other people do, but I don't want to do that, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I can't, I wouldn't feel great at all, man. Some people, I have a feeling these days, some people, if you would offer them $3 million to grab a picture of their grandmother's tits and put it online, for $3 million, they would do it. It'll be worth it. They'll leave the rat race and it'll be all worth it, I'm poor as fuck, bro. And there's stuff that I will never do. I can never do that. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's the equivalent. Like, I got this channel and I'm going to keep it this way. I don't want to hurt anybody, and even if it would really help me out, it would make a huge difference, it could change my life, I will never do that. I'll stay poor, man. It's all good, man. Money's not everything. Problem is, you look outside with the stuff people are willing to do for money these days. That's why it's getting worse and worse. Look at it outside, man. Be a bunch of mercenaries out there. I can't do it, man. But I understand, though. I understand. God bless you all. Have a great day. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything. And thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being kind with me. I hope I can return the favor. If you ever wanted to send me an email, I apologize. It's nothing against you personally. It'll never be against you. It's the situation that I'm in, and I can't do that. But thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great evening. Thank you for understanding.